I just had my first family visit in Finland, and here's how it went. So for you guys that already know, I have been living in Finland for almost 6 years now, and this is my first ever visit that I've experienced since I've been here. And to be honest, it was like a breath of fresh air. Because I constantly living here as a foreigner, as an immigrant, feeling like, oh, I don't understand the language so well, or I don't get this or that, or whatever the case might be. I realized in this moment when my family visited that I actually am aware of a lot more than I even realized. So it was these cool moments when sometimes they would be asking about this or that. And of course, you know, my girl, she's telling them these things, but there was some things that I could chime in and be like, oh, well, you know, here in Finland, they do more like this or like that. And just seeing their eyes light up, it gave me this kind of reflection on like, damn, man, you have actually come quite far. And there was even these cool moments where, you know, my girl was speaking to me in Finnish and we were having these little private conversations, which I thought was super cool. And I was like, I even told her later, I was like, man, I can't even believe that I understood you. And it was a really big growing moment. Now let's go into their experience as Americans being here in Finland. Now, one thing that I got to give you the backdrop is my tia is actually originally from Brazil, but she's been living in the U.S. for clearly over 20 years. And then there's my little cousin who was born and raised in the U.S., but has gone back and forth and, you know, to Brazil all her life. So they have this little experience of for sure having the ideal of American life and how that is compared to the rural, bustling life that they're, you know, used to in Brazil. So in a way, they were kind of experiencing two different ways of life based off of how the US is and also based off of how Brazil is compared to Finland. So first thing I noticed, like I definitely living here, there were pieces of me that I was already in America that only grew into bigger parts of me, keeping to myself and stuff like that, because Finland has really allowed those personality traits of myself to be groomed and continue. But there were many things that I was like, oh my God, I've been living here long enough that I can almost in some perspective see how Finns might see this or experience this from the outside. So point blank, Thea, when they came, not only would Finns consider them probably louder, but they also were more outspoken, more energetic. And some things are common, obviously, from the US, and some things are common from where they're from in Brazil. And all of these things here in Finland, as my Thea even though she was like, you know, they're way more, Finland, you know, Finnish people are a little bit more conserved and more quiet in public places. As you know, buses and trains are quiet. So for them, it was definitely like a, whoa, like, you know, kind of thing. Because in America, your noise might go unnoticed when you're speaking out loud and talking with people. But here in Finland, your whole conversation will be heard because most people are not extending their, you know, what they're talking about, you know, loud enough to even be heard. Now, luckily, we spent the entire week in Helsinki. Now, the part that I'm happy about that and sad about that is in Helsinki is a place that if you are visiting from elsewhere, you're not originally from Finland and you're moving to Helsinki or visiting, Helsinki is kind of the center point city that you're going to see a lot of everything. And there's only, I'm going to be honest, from my perspective of being in Helsinki several times, I'm going to say that you might get 25% of what's Finnish in Helsinki. Everything is way more changing and evolving into this, you know, melting pot of culture and ideas that you're not going to really get a lot of Finnish experience unless you go and visit maybe a museum or things like that. But if you want to experience things that are more Finnish based, which I unfortunately wasn't able to provide for my family on this trip, you're going to have to venture a few hours out and experience, you know, more so Finnish culture outside of Finland. I mean, outside of main, you know, cities like Tampere, Helsinki, so on and so forth. With that being said, I definitely can say that they, especially my Thea, she really, really enjoyed the level of style, the aesthetic, how people were. I actually can let you listen to a little bit of what she said here.
I love it. No, I'm telling the truth. I love it. Okay. The people are beautiful, warm, they pleasant, beautiful people. I love it, love it, love it, love it. They are gorgeous women. They say, Brazil have a beautiful woman? No. Here, yes. Elegant. The food was delicious. And everywhere that I go, I enjoy. I really enjoy. Really beautiful.
I really liked it. It was just different people. I wish I could get sleep, but that's like a me problem. But everything was amazing. I really did love it, and I got to see family, so it was good.
Now, and of course, y'all know that I had to also run them by the candies, right? So, you know, I know a lot of you will say, oh, you should have showed them this and this and this. I did my best. We ate a lot. But, you know, this also, like I said, 6 years, it was a moment for me to be able to experience family and showcase my new family here in Finland to my, you know, growing up family. And I think that it was definitely an experience that, you know, I wasn't chasing content at all in regards to experiencing their time with me and my family. I really got to enthrall myself in that, live in that, and then that's just how I am. But I did try to capture some moments to make it unique and also to share with you guys because I know you guys would enjoy some of those things. That being said, yeah, man, it was really funny seeing them have this experience right here.
Kippis.
You and the S, you forget it. Okay.
Kippis.
Here. Oh no! That's salty! No.
So, you know, y'all know me. I still love salmiakki to the point that when I went to the dentist had told me like, hey bro, you gotta chill a little bit, you know, because, you know, to the teeth, it could take a little bit of damage, but also, you know, cholesterol and all of that. I don't have those issues yet, but could be as I'm getting older. But yeah, that definitely was a funny thing that I was like, they didn't like salmiakki, but you saw that they liked the mintu, panteri, and maybe a few of the candies from the mixed bag. But yeah, man, it was just incredible just seeing them because, like I said, it was reflective on how I was when I first moved here and my experience of like, yo, this new place I've never been to, new types of people, new you know, culture and all of these things. So I was really enjoying watching them kind of every time they got into the car. You know, they had their own hotel that they were at, but every time they got back in the car, when we would scoop them up to go to the next place or to the next spot, they constantly were giving me those reviews of somewhere they ate or somewhere they walked or something they saw. And, you know, it just kind of reignited that piece of me that said like, yeah, man, you live in a unique place. You live in a different place and you're not home. And, you know, so much has changed back in my own country. I've seen it from a distance and then obviously having a chance to speak with them and get a better idea on how things have changed. So, I don't know, man. I definitely made sure to do my best to represent in the sense of saying like, hey, this is Helsinki experience, you know, or when certain things would happen, you know, I would say, how is your Finnish experience going? You know, because Finland is not all of Europe. And obviously them being not growing up completely living in America, they obviously are able to separate a bit of what can happen to some of us as Americans where we kind of type, you know, cast everybody into this melting pot of sameness when it comes to Asia, Europe, and Middle East, and so on and so forth. So I always was trying my best to be like, this is more of a Finnish thing. You know, this is a Finnish thing. You go next door, you know, you go to Russia, you go to Sweden, you go down to Latvia, whatever. These countries are all different in their origin and fashion in which they do things. But yeah, man, I'm just mumbling across. I've just wanted to share this moment with you guys and give you guys an opportunity to just get that little insight because that's something I have not experienced thus far. But yeah, it was really fun and seeing their energy was insane because I was like, man, is this a mixture of my personality, but also living abroad in Finland? Because you get so used to people having a tendency, not everybody, but a tendency to be more submerged in this sense of calmness, or I don't know how to say calmness, but more like laid backness, maybe not so much forwardness, or a lot of their inner thoughts might be, even if they share it, it comes out a certain way. But with Thea and my cousin, you know, it kind of gave me that reflection of being back in the States where people might share, you know, what's on the mind and they share it in the the level of excitement that they have in that moment, you know. And it was definitely like, wow, like I haven't experienced that kind of energy in so long. You know, it was just so many thoughts going through my mind when I was experiencing this, but it was cool. And it makes me kind of think about other people that live here in Finland as immigrants. You know, have you had this kind of experience? Have you had where your family kind of visited, you've been living in a country for a while or living in Finland for a while, and you get this visit and then you're kind of like, whoa, like, damn, bro, I've become a little bit more of this culture in the way that I am, or the way that I feel, or the way that I think, and you kind of get this wake up call of like, oh wow, like yeah, bro, this is where I'm from. This is how it was and who I was, because it had been clear over a decade almost that I have seen my tia and my cousin. So it was definitely unique and an awesome experience. So I just wanted to share that with you guys today. I actually have another video coming up soon talking about a whole nother category, sidebar of this. But yeah, I'm going full-time YouTube, opposed to the work that I do for a living, but I'm going full-time YouTube because IG and TikTok has been fun, but I need to be able to share more of this and talk and connect with you guys. I like this a lot more than sitting there trying to put together these short little clips. But yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Moika, out.